China didn't just want a helicopter. It wanted independence. Because in modern warfare, dependence can be a weakness, and sometimes a liability. Back in the 1980s, China faced a serious military problem. Its helicopters struggled in extreme environments, especially in high-altitude regions like the Tibetan Plateau. Thin air reduces lift, engines lose power, and older rotorcraft simply couldn't perform reliably. Troop transport, logistics, and rescue missions in those areas were risky and inefficient. Then an unexpected solution arrived from the United States. In 1984, China purchased 24 Sikorsky S-70C-2 helicopters, a civilian variant related to the famous UH-60 Blackhawk. These aircraft immediately proved their value. They flew higher, carried more, and handled harsh terrain better than anything China had at the time. For missions in Tibet, they were unmatched. For a moment, it looked like the gap had been solved. But geopolitics had other plans. After 1989, Western arms embargoes on China changed the equation. Support, spare parts, and future purchases became restricted. Suddenly, those highly capable helicopters represented a vulnerability. If foreign supply lines could be cut off once, they could be cut off again, during a crisis or even a conflict. That realization planted a seed inside China's defense industry. The lesson was simple. If you rely on others for critical technology, you don't fully control your future. So, China began thinking long-term. Not about copying a helicopter, but about mastering the capability behind it. Engineers studied rotor dynamics, vibration control, avionics integration, and turboshaft engine performance. These are not technologies you replicate overnight. They require years of testing, industrial growth, and trial and error. For a long time, progress remained quiet. Then, in December 2013, observers noticed something new. A medium-lift helicopter prototype appeared in flight tests. At a glance, it reminded many of the Black Hawk class. Similar size, similar role, but it wasn't a clone. It carried a 5-bladed rotor instead of 4. Its fuselage lines were refined. Its internal systems were increasingly domestic. This was the Z-20. When it entered service around 2018 to 2019, it marked a turning point. China now had a homegrown medium-lift helicopter designed for its own operational realities. The Z-20 was powered by Chinese turboshaft engines associated with the WZ-10 family, built to perform in high-altitude conditions. Reports and official footage suggested modern digital avionics and flight control assistance that reduced pilot workload and improved handling. Capacity matched its class, a crew of 2 and space for roughly a squad of troops or mission equipment. On paper, it looked like a competitor in the same league. But the real story wasn't the helicopter itself. It was what came next. China didn't treat the Z-20 as a single aircraft. It treated it as a platform, a foundation, a starting point. Soon, multiple variants began appearing. Army transport versions for rapid deployment. Air assault configurations capable of carrying external stores. Naval models with folding rotors and maritime adaptations for ship operations. Search and rescue versions with hoists and specialized sensors. Anti-submarine warfare variants equipped to carry dipping sonar and lightweight torpedoes. One airframe, many roles. This approach mirrors a key lesson from the Black Hawk program. Versatility multiplies value. When pilots, mechanics, and logistics units work with a common platform, training becomes simpler and maintenance becomes more efficient. In large-scale operations, that efficiency translates directly into readiness. Geography also plays a role. China operates across mountains, deserts, coastlines, and open seas. A modular helicopter platform allows adaptation to each environment. High-altitude missions in the west. Maritime patrols in the east and south. Rapid mobility wherever needed. The Z-20 fits into all of those scenarios. So, has China made something better than the Black Hawk? That depends on how you define better. The Black Hawk has decades of combat experience, continuous upgrades, and a global support network. It has proven itself in real conflicts and disaster relief operations worldwide. That legacy is hard to match. But the Z-20 was never designed to replace the Blackhawk globally. It was designed to serve China's needs and eliminate reliance on foreign suppliers. In that mission, success is measured differently. There are also hints of future evolution. Some observed configurations show heavier armament options and specialized mission kits. As battlefield technology becomes more network-centric, helicopters are increasingly used as information nodes, sharing targeting data, reconnaissance feeds, and coordination signals in real time. If integration and sensors improve, the Z-20's true strength may come from connectivity, not just hardware. There is also symbolism here. A modern military helicopter is not a simple machine. It reflects progress in materials science, electronics, engine design, and systems integration. Developing one domestically signals industrial maturity. The Z-20 represents that milestone for China in the medium-lift category. And yet, much remains intentionally unclear. Exact performance figures, production totals, and full mission capabilities are not always public. That opacity is normal in military aviation. Analysts rely on sightings, official releases, and gradual disclosures. Still, the trajectory is visible. China identified a dependency. It invested time and resources. It built an alternative. Then it expanded it into a family of specialized aircraft. That isn't imitation. That's strategic adaptation. The real story of the Z-20 is not about copying a helicopter. It's about copying an idea. The idea that a versatile, scalable platform can multiply a military's mobility and reach. And in modern warfare, mobility is power. The ability to move troops, sensors, and supplies quickly can shape events before a conflict even begins. Helicopters remain one of the most flexible tools for that mission. The Z-20 gives China more control over that flexibility. But this is only the beginning. Because once a platform exists, evolution follows. New engines, new electronics, new roles. The Black Hawk itself has evolved over the decades. The Z-20 may follow a similar path. So maybe the real question isn't whether China built its own Black Hawk. Maybe the real question is how far they plan to take the concept, and how it could reshape their military reach in the years ahead. And when we look at the specialized variants emerging from this program, the next chapter becomes even more interesting.